place today. So I haven't played this one in a while. Yamaha has been upstairs in Studio 2. The astute of you, and historically knowledgeable of you, would notice that the pickups in here are no longer white. I think the last time it was seen was on an Angra cover for was that Carolina the Fourth, and it sounded good. Had Guitar Madness 1984s in it. I was totally happy with it. It was fine. Along came these Alnico 4s from Guitar Parts Zone. Actually, I came up with an interesting little melody the other week. It's in a key that I don't often play in. It's F sharp major. And it kind of has this going in the background, which is interesting because the melody does not go with that at all, but in a weird way it just kind of works. So there are two layers to the melody. The first layer is, which sounds very nu metal, but you have to kind of take it places. So and you can go on from there, and then the second part of that. But you know, it's all in what you hear. So on top of that is and it's kind of played in octaves, really. Isn't that neat? But I would just literally play the octaves. I wouldn't play octaves. I mean, I'm not actually doing that. I mean, I can. I just did, but it's not something I'd prefer to do. But anyway, so these are the Alnico 4s from Guitar part zone. They put the 1984s to shame. They are clear and juicy. It's a beautiful thing. Oops. That's better. The thing is, they clean up so well. You know that it's so 70s. It's not even funny, but it's also early 80s. For instance, like you can also play that here, which I think they actually did. Something like that. Because these are the same kind of pickups that would have been in probably a fake Epiphone of the day. Or fake Gibson of the day. Neck pickup is fantastic. As such, clear and juicy. Bridge. Oh, hey, Dwight, how are you? Just warming into the day. Four fingers. Sounds nuttier, but not that hard. Give it a try. That's not that bad. Doing all right. And of course, this could be played in a couple of different keys. You could play it, since it's a G, G major, G Lydian. Which would effectively put it in B minor. And the one major difference between those two, not really a major difference at all, it's between hitting a D and, or excuse me, a C. Is it a C? Yes, a C and a C sharp. That's it. So, good times, fun stuff. Very Lydian. Lydian major, Lydian major, Lydian major. Now let's do the Lydian instead. That's neat. And don't forget, when you're tapping and you need to do a vibrato, do a vibrato, keep using your left hand or your fret hand for the vibrato-y shaky stuff. Because your right hand is too busy just trying to hold on to notes, and it's not stable. It's not really holding on to anything. So doing vibrato here, it's possible, of course, but it's just not as good. It never is. So this. Let your left hand or your fret hand take care of that. So last week, I think it was on Tuesday, I got to talk a little bit about not having an understanding of the methods and madness of Chris Poland and the way he plays. This I have now. And it's the same here, really. And if you notice the way he picks it, it's not really a distinctly alternate picked thing. Ah, good morning! This, though, you can pick it like that, but it just doesn't have the right sound. What it really is a up, up, pull off, and then bend quickly to the same note that you just pulled off from. And it's the fact that he's not hitting it absolutely perfectly, and I'm not hitting it absolutely perfectly every single time, that makes it as weird sounding as it is when he does it. So that's just kind of cool. It's a neat thing to pick up. So that whole, I mean, I still don't have it down, but you know, then you. But I think he would probably be more along the lines of a. Or that might be me impressing myself on Chris Poland. That type of thing is pretty neat. Any questions? How are y'all doing this morning, though? We hanging out, doing good. Everybody has a guitar in their hand, a nice cup of hot coffee, or tea in my case, which is not hot, because I made it early. Nevertheless, so I had a question about pinch harmonics a while ago, and I get those a lot, and it's fine. I'll field as many questions about pinch harmonics as anybody wants me to answer, or anybody has room to ask. I don't see them as anything else but a different way of creating natural harmonics, because they're all still created on the harmonic nodes that we know and love. They're all still there. Sounds familiar. Gee. You learn new things all the time. But, so they're all still on those nodes. It's just a matter of, you know, when you put your fingers down, that note moves up. So naturally up here, well, that's kind of fair game for it too. So and all that is taking your pick and kind of, as soon as you pick it, letting the kind of thick of your thumb right here touch the string. And it's no more than a touch. And when you're doing that kind of stuff like this, it's same thing. I'm just touching the string. In this case, I'm giving it a quick hammer on the fret itself. NBC. And that's it. But this is the same thing. All I'm doing is, again, I'm touching the fat of my finger here, the flesh of my finger, thumb in this case, opposable thumb, to the string immediately after it's picked. So the pick goes through, my thumb is touching. Like that. But it's much faster than that. Like that. So, either way you go, it's got to be on a harmonic node. You can't just do it anywhere. There's nothing there. It doesn't work. You have all those available to you, and they'll be in different places when you start using like notes. And, you know, it's just up to the individual to find where they all are. Not really memorize them, but kind of start playing them enough to where you can kind of intuit where they would be. I wouldn't I wouldn't say that. How academic are we when we drive? You get in a car, you get behind the wheel. Let's say it's an automatic. You put it in drive, and you go forward. Do you really think about all of the mechanics of exactly how you move the wheel and stuff like that? We could even akin it to maybe parts of speech. When you say the word "the," do you really think about how you're shaping your tongue and your mouth when you're doing it? No. And why? Because we say "the" all the time, and or words like that. Any word, really. But we don't really think about it. We might think about what word to use, but we don't think about how exactly we need to produce that. So it's the same kind of thing here, where once you get used to it, and once you've explored, then you kind of just know. So, I mean, I still get them wrong. I've been playing for 37 years. Oh, I'm playing with an injury today. I was folding up a lot of boxes. Yes, folding up meaning like I had 18 specific box types to break down and get out. This is work. And one of the boxes decided to take a chunk out of my finger here. So doing things like I was just doing, I'll do it with this finger. Hurts like hell with this one. So I might be doing more three-fingery stuff today. But when you're practicing the harmonics, know that just doing it in one place isn't going to work for all things. I'll show you. Okay, move it a little forward. See how those are kind of picking up extra tones in that? Those are transient tones. Those are not pure harmonic notes. You're much closer to it here. Pretty good. Not so much. Closer. Not so much. A little closer, maybe. Morning! So if I were to change anything about this instrument, by the way, this is a very old guitar. It's vintage, definitely. It's hard for me to say it's vintage, but it's an early 1990s Yamaha RGX 421DR, which the R stands for reverse. And these are harder to find, but I picked it up 10 years ago for a very, very nice sum. It was not a lot, actually. A very nice low sum. It was very cool. But the only things that I would change, I've never touched really anything except for I removed the original pick guard, added my own, and I've been swapping out pickups. But apart from that, and I still have the original one and all the original pickups, and those sound so good. It's not funny. They do. They sound amazing. They're very clear. They're very, they're very good. For the time. They're low magnetic field because they're old. The Gauss is going away. So they're very clear, like I said before, but I put other things in it. I want to hot rod this thing a little bit. So the only things that I would change is that when I get the gumption to, I'm going to pop the neck off and take the original lacquer off the neck. It's a gloss finish, and as any person who's been playing a while knows, gloss finishes are not very accommodating to long-term playing, because the friction developed, because it's such a smooth surface. Your fingerprints, I mean, you can remove your fingerprints. I guess that's a solution, but your fingerprints will, cause friction with this surface because it's not porous. So I would fix that. I would remove the finish and I would add tongue oil or something like that and be happy about it. I would also, at some point in the future, remove all the frets, because these are technically now just medium frets. I can't count them into the jumbo category. It's a lot like playing on a Gibson, and it requires more effort than I think it should in the higher ranges. So at some point in the future, fret job is on the way, and the neck will get refinished. This is a guitar that will never, ever, ever go anywhere, though. It's one I always wanted back when I was 18, 19, and when I got it, I'm like, yes, I finally have it. But I've mentioned before, So that depends heavily on the categories. So what was known as heavy metal in 1983 wasn't very metal by comparison in 1990. In fact, most people would have called it rock, hard rock. So Def Leppard was the sort of kind of answer to that. By 1982, let's see, Children of the Night, I heard Kiss, I Love It Loud on Showtime, before a movie started, and I thought that was freaking amazing. I had heard by the time I was 10 a small sampling of Iron Man. And I think that, though, the one I was mentioning, Def Leppard and Pyromania, I think that's the one that really led me down the rabbit hole, because once I got that, and it's not really heavy metal, but I kept getting heavier and heavier after that. I just, there had to be other groups, and there were, and I would hear them, and they sounded great, so. Blind Guardian, no kidding. Early works or the later stuff? I mean, I'm Somewhere Far Beyond or Nightfall in Middle Earth, maybe? Nightfall in Middle Earth was fantastic. Still one of my favorite albums in total. Like, I wouldn't call it a perfect album, but it's really damn close. So it's really close. The narratives behind it, the fact that they actually read the Silmarillion, not at all like Rings of Power. It was great. Very well done. Actually, something that started yesterday. Yeah, that's it. There's a harmonic here. All right, close to it. Yeah. Oh, he does go back. And then he just kind of... something like that. That kind of thing. Anyway, so yes, so this led me down a little bit of the Blue Powder Steve Vai thing yesterday. Not playing it well, but as soon as I plugged in and started playing around, it was like, oh, hey, that's this. Oh, and check something here. Oh, someone commented on the Sepultura track I did a while ago. Cool. Very nice fellow by the name of Shay for Tribe 76. So I was talking about pentatonics the other week too. I had mentioned, like, you were 11, really. To illustrate the musical, not differences, but I would say generational differences, because you're closer to the age of my daughter than me. By quite a bit, actually. So if you were 11, if I remember your age correctly, and you haven't lapsed the sun one more time since last we spoke, about it at least, let's see here. That would have put you in 2009, and some very interesting, if I got my math right, that would have been a very interesting time for them, because, Hansi was starting to get political. He was definitely more involved with John Schaefer and, doing the Demons and Wizards type of stuff. And that didn't last very long, thanks to 2020. But nevertheless, I still suggest, pursuing Nightfall in Middle Earth, one way or the other. And that came out when I was like 20. So, whoa, no, 21. I think it was 1995, pretty sure. So, no, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Extremely well thought out. Very well crafted music. And some of the only power metal that I still like. So, as much as you don't like power metal, they still influenced you to get into metal. Cool. But the question about pentatonics and doing things in this kind of a type of thing, last week, I should have also mentioned that you don't have to stick with that kind of note or the blues scale, even the happy blues scale. You can could do other things too. Old Guardian was great. I don't, with the exception of the Mr. Sandman thing, which I think was completely overblown. Yeah, they're being cute. Yeah, there's some killer clowns. Yeah, whatever, you know. But yes, the new one sucks. After they started singing about the Jerusalem thing back in 2003, I thought, oh, what a downgrade. You know, it's the first album after Nightfall, and it just falls flat. It was awful. But it wasn't because of the subject matter. It was just because the musicality. It's like they're treading old ground, and they're just louder now in the production. That's it. This could have been on the last album. This could have been on the album before that. It stopped being innovative. It stopped being inventive and fun, or surprising. It was no longer surprising. Therefore, it was boring. But anyway, as I was saying, go outside of standard pentatonic boxes. Do things like this. Try it with arpeggio shapes, like a minor seventh, for instance. And you can even do that, which is hard. But it makes a nice... to go that route. I mean, you totally can, but that's the whole thing with these kind of like 2-note per strings. How many different 2 notes on a strings are there? So, I mean, you can literally, if you could reach that far with one hand, you can't, but if you could, that's something you could do. These, these kind of stretches that are just nuts. It's a fifth. Let's try that this way. It's hard to do. No lie. So, but you can. That's the thing I'm trying to get at is that you don't have to limit yourself to pentatonic boxes. You can move things around and try different shapes, because it's fun to try different shapes. See where they fit in. That you don't have to. Again, we're not stuck in the 70s in spite of the 70s pickups here. So, fine, sure. In fact, mix it around. Do things like that. It'll be impressive. Go the other way, and you start to sound like John Petrucci. Let's see. And it starts to be kind of neat. Well, you want a little fella? Oh, I got a very excited little boy out there, right there. Happy little guy. Marcus. The gray, squishy cat. So as soon as I write a tune with these in mind, in total, that's as schizophrenic as I think these pickups can be, because they are very versatile, and I want to show the versatility. It's not just, rock and roll all the time. You can do other stuff with it. It's very juicy and clear, as I've mentioned before. Weird stuff. I mean, just play around. That's just people ask, how do I warm up? This is how I warm up. I just noodle, and I call it noodling because I'm noodling. I'm not doing anything in particular or serious, but I'm kind of exploring the fretboard and finding melody if I can. And this is how I warm up. You could when you're younger. When I'm saying younger, I'm talking about younger in years of playing. Pursue the exercises. Be rigorous as you can, because it'll lead you to do other things that are very good. I don't believe in how do I put this? I want, if anybody's listening out there and pursuing on guitar, I don't want to show you exactly the things that exactly you want to do. I would like to instead show you how you can get there yourself, or even better, teach a man to fish type of thing, or woman, whatever. But once more, it's I think it's my job in being helpful in this department is to try to get it to where that you can not only self-train at some point to get there, but to get your technique to be able to do anything that you want to put your mind to. So it's not just about only learning the Metallica, whatever. It's not about that. Not about the not about learning any of that. What it is about is making your fingers capable of doing all that stuff. So the exercises are kind of a prerequisite. It's paramount. So doing the what is that? The ridiculous. It's necessary. Doing the and the 10-minute. Yeah, it's all necessary. The warm-ups like so, all necessary. And then of course the or 4, not 3, if I can do it. Those are all required. Once you kind of get past all that and you get all that stuff kind of under your belt, most other things that you want to do will kind of make themselves available to you. Oh, I wanted to learn this thing from so and so. Well, so now you have the capability of doing that. It's kind of like training to run a bunch of obstacle courses. Then all of a sudden you have a different obstacle course. You have much more capability of getting through it, even if a little more slowly. But you've trained yourself to be able to pull yourself up, crawl through the thing, jump up and down over tires and whatnot. So the order may be a little different, and the way the obstacles may be put in front of you might be a little different. And you won't be familiar with the course, so you won't be able to just ace it immediately. But your physical capability will be such that it won't be that hard for you. Yeah, so that's that. So if you light a fire for a man, he's warm for a day. Yes. Well, that if you light a man on fire, that's the whole point. I'm trying to help, and many people I could light on fire, the better. So oh, the delay pedal that I picked up, the Emanator, that's not going anywhere. It's got a permanent home. The deep blue distortion, which is what I've been running through, it's not really a distortion pedal. It is a highfalutin overdrive. It's got a lot of gain for an overdrive, but it is not, I repeat, not a distortion. Those are permanent. I kind of found it. The whole plenty sound thing that I'm after. Pickups are actually very helpful in that, especially the neck one. Holy crap, that's really great. I like the bridge too, but the bridge is it's not very Metallica, so playing some covers with it last night, just kind of seeing if my hand wants to keep up and seeing how much I remember from my youth, because I don't play these all the time. I used to actually, when I was 16, 1990, I would play along with all the songs that I know, and I knew, and on mixtapes, right? And I would take those mixtapes, like 90-minute mixtapes, and I would, just keep adding on to the end of them every time I would learn something. And I kind of decided, all right, I'll wipe all that out and I'll remake them from easiest to hardest. And after the hardest, it would be like most fun. I have to work to get the dessert. And they were 4.5 hours long in total. So I would play along for 4.5 hours every single day with tunes. And so you want to hone yourself, you want to get your skill up, you want to light yourself on fire and be warm for the rest of your life. You you play along with the stuff that you want to play along with, sure. It's going to help you develop technique a lot, and in usually the direction that you want to go. There are pitfalls to this, though. Some valuable things will be lost in devoting so much time to sounding like other people. And I think you can see where I'm going with that. You kind of lose a little bit of your own sound. You don't, but you do, because you're losing valuable time in what would you write? You know, how would you hone your own chops? What do you want to hear that you're not hearing out there that you want to hear yourself? So not necessarily yourself do, but you know that you'd like to hear anybody do, but they're not doing. So what would you want to create for the world? And so you'll miss out on a lot of time to do that. You might have to do a lot of catch up later on when you're out of the game. Hi. So. Lovely harmonic. A couple of things I should mention. Today is day 42. Day 42 meaning 6 weeks on carnivore. I'm no longer seeing differences. I'm feeling some differences, but I'm no longer seeing them. It's kind of a sad plateau. I talked to a nurse practitioner the other day about that, and she said, well, your body's getting used to it. And I'm like, damn our accommodating bodies. So, yeah, what do you do? You eat more beef, you shut up and get on with it. But I'm hoping that once this makes the 6 months round, I'll be back in 30-30s. That's kind of the end goal. I have doubts. I'd accept 32s. But 30 would be nice. I haven't been there since I was 32. So tell me, everyone, what are we working on? If you want to, be so kind as to let me know. It's a very Mozart thing. A major to D major, triads. I think he puts that in his sleigh ride somewhere. You can do it backwards. Still working on that. I covered that a little earlier, but I'll be happy to talk about it again. So there's 3 parts in the guitar to it. It's about 155 beats per minute played at halftime. So it's kind of a in the background. Weirdly enough, guitar over the top is type of thing. It's just this really quick chug, but triplet chug. And it's kind of funny how it developed. I wasn't hearing that at first. That's not the first thing that I put down. The first thing that I put down was just this. And then I decided to add to it. So every other one does that. Like so. But the melody that I put on top of that surprised me because I really didn't know what to expect. But you're at work in a meeting, but when you're not at work, You're working on releasing some early Maiden tunes. Oh yeah, very cool. Legato while you recover from tennis elbow. Yeah, well, dude, the tennis elbow thing it'll stop you from doing a lot of stuff. So I've had it. I hated it. I'm sorry you got it. You can work your way out of it. Those stretches, anything that your physical therapist says to do, you do. These kind of things are marvelously helpful for things like that. Help me get out of carpal tunnel syndrome without surgery. So it's a marvel. Do them. And remember, it's got to be more than 30 seconds if you want actual, like a reversal of trends. 10 seconds or more to keep you a little limber. Anything less than that is ineffective, but 10 seconds or more, okay. 30 seconds or more for change. So back to it. Let's see. Oh, I'll be adding vocals. I haven't added them yet, but I have an idea about where I wanted to take it. So let me play the Oriental Melody, and that's what I'm calling it. It is an Oriental Melody. It's more like and it's in F sharp major, so it's an unusual key for guitar. But this is the point about following your ears. What do your ears say you want to hear? And, figure that out, and it doesn't matter whether it's in a comfortable spot or not. Like one of the first songs that I can remember writing in an off key because I wanted to hear it where it was in G sharp or in G minor, and that's not an inherently guitar key. In fact, this whole what is that? Oh shit! that I had to actually learn that. I mean, it's mine, but I had to learn where they were. So the Oriental Melody is as such. No, it's not. Oh my god. Let me just play it on one string. I just played it on octaves earlier and I can't do it now. It's amazing. It's just like that. And then I would play it as an octave. Yeah. There it is. And that's pretty easy. But, when you start pairing them together and you're jumping all over the place, change the shape of the octave, and that's a little different. But I decided to put this little chuggy thing in the background. So you're hearing... And, that's just kind of how it wraps up. But as far as like the vocals go, I want to stop right afterwards, and I haven't recorded this yet because I want it to go to halftime from the halftime, so quarter time, and I would start it with, and if anybody's into Camel, this is kind of I think where it came from. Like, let me go to a clean because that's what it's going to be. Clean is a little louder, so just a little warning. A little warning. But you have this F major 7. This is kind of a nice... Let me turn on a little flange. There we go. Now, isn't that just stellar? There we go. In this case, you don't really want to highlight the fifth up there, so you would just end it like that. That's it right there. But and that there needs to be like somber vocals over the top of it. And well, all I've written so far would be on a different notepad, which I need to look up right there. Conclusion of the night, outside a dim blue light, alarm goes off and the day begins again. Struggle to awake, resisting the checkmate, to call it off and sleep away the day. It's kind of dumb, but at the same time, you got to write about what you know. And that literally was written in the morning right after I woke up And I did not want to get up. So, well, I appreciate the fact that you like the medieval stuff, man. I like the medieval stuff too. It's just a matter of, how do you get it out? Well, let's take a guitar and tune it weird and see what comes out. So as far as your alternate picking goes, you may try a different picking posture. I don't know how high up you play. Maybe up here. Maybe literally turning it like so to relax your arm. I don't recommend playing this high up, but it is easier to pick this way. Yeah, I don't recommend that at all, actually. So, but it's easier to pick, but it's not good for playing. So, and you kind of look like a knob. So, but this whole thing with alternate picking, you can try holding it in different positions. Like instead of under this part of your thumb, hold it under the knuckle. Alex Skolnick does that a lot. It actually does make it a little easier sometimes. And the position kind of locks in there. It stays in the same spot. As far as like regular alternate picking goes, instead of picking at what they would call the downward pick angle, pick at an upward pick angle. That helps me too. Yeah, it looks a little different, but I need to pay attention to where I'm playing. But anyway, I have an idea of where the song is going to go. I'm not sure because a lot of my stuff is just through composed. And I was thinking about taking it up and, if I'm playing here, well, where's the 6 of that? And you can do it like a 6-2-5-1. That's kind of pretty. I don't know where I'd go with that exactly, but because as soon as I start playing like 7th chords, I am like this. I immediately start kind of in my mind, hanging out on the idea of like, or yeah. That's actually flat, one key, but yeah. But yeah. Higher than an old man's pants. They have T-Rex arms. Great. Me too. So, yeah, the lower you play, the worse it'll be for you. The higher you play, of course, the better. The trick from Billy Sheehan is to cinch up your guitar strap while you're playing sitting down. So when you stand up and play, it's in the same spot. And that does work really, really well. That means no matter how you practice, whether it's standing up or sitting down, you're always practicing in the same way. So let's talk about trying to do something medieval. How do they go? That's it. I don't remember this. I learned this 20 years ago, but how do they go? No? Ah. Maybe I shouldn't be figuring this out right now. Look up Robert Device, Robert Davisse. I used to think it was Device, but no, it's Device. Robert Device. Vice, maybe? I have no idea. Don't care. I'm an American. Screw it. But Robert Device, he wrote a little bourrée in D minor, and that's what I'm feebly trying to do there. But that's got a great kind of medieval sound, although it is distinctly Baroque. Very cool. You can do other stuff too. I did a little study in tenths harmony when I was 18. I encourage everybody to try this. And so try to create some sort of a melody, This is an old one. And now make a harmony to that. So That's nice, but it should be F sharp, so. Yeah. How did that go? Yes, that's it. No. Uh-huh. And I think I just did it this way. Because it's, How did I do that? I don't remember. Yeah. You could do if you wanted to, but that's that kind of thing. Pursue that. Do like for every 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so for every 3 notes, add a bass note. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, whatever I did, but that was a study. I literally just learned about harmony and tenths. Oh, this is what they do. This is how they compose the stuff. I'll write something, because the best way to really learn something is to kind of write it, right? So I wrote the thing, and then I took it to Kevin next week, and I was like, hey man, check out this thing. And he's like, did you write that? I'm like, I wrote that. Listen to that. So, but looking back, that's very Vinnie Moore doing the same type of thing that I did. So, but that was me doing the very same type of thing that he did. That's the way it should have come out. But nevertheless, so another thing you could try, by the way, with your picking, just to mention it, is finger pick. Work on that. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to play some distorted-y stuff, overdriven stuff, with the volume a little down. But it's a good time to work on things like this. And that way, you're not moving your wrist at all. Therefore, you're not irritating the tendons in your elbow. Which I really wanted to reach for a pick for. Marcus, you want to come in? I have a cat that needs to come in the room. He's very squishy. He's a good boy. Come on, Marky boy. He's a good baby. You come right on in. Yes, you squishy kitty. Not you, you little nerfer. Of course, Marcus likes my chair. So we're just going to have to accommodate. I'll sit on the edge, and Marky will be here. Just a good Marky boy. This is probably his favorite place to be, because he doesn't get to come in here very often. So. But that's something you can do. Yeah. Work on double stops. You do the whole, Jeff Beck thing. Tighten the bar down like crazy, so it doesn't rattle anywhere. And then just work on things that don't involve your elbow. Yes, well, he's a good boy. I'll let him in anytime. So he just does what he does. I got a little orange and white one that really wants in right now. His name is Gary, which is really Gerald, and we've called him Geralt, and that somehow morphed to Gary. But Gary is a cable eater, so Gary is not allowed in here. He's nothing but trouble. Alan's nothing but trouble, too, because he keeps rummaging behind my stuff. Notice I'm not using my elbow here. Yeah. Still got the flanger on. If I can do the pinky stuff. There's my bubba. How you doing, sweet kitty? Thing is, he can't get in on his own. He has no jump to him whatsoever. This particular gray cat, no jump at all. But what he does have is the ability to climb back up and around, and then jump down if he wants to get down. But by the way, that's something you can do with the tremolo. Not a lot of people think of. Don't grab the bar; just press on it to do things like this. Not necessarily that high, I guess, but. I'm not gonna tell you. It's more than 2 and less than 20. So you see, the whole thing with the using your fingers is to try to affect a different texture. I mean, you're not going to be cutting through Master of Puppets without some strain, right? Turn off that flange. But you can work on things that otherwise you may not. So get on like a backing track. Let's do that. In fact. Backing track, guitar, backing track, and almost all of them are blues for some reason. I don't know why. Guitar backing tracks, and I'll try to make sure this isn't too loud. Rockin' Blues in A. Oh, gee, this is going to be a tough one. That's not too loud. Here we go. Feeling like Robert Cray yet? That's about right. Probably going to go to E here, then D, and then A again. Because that's not blues, right? Little space. You want to be crazy? Don't do this, it'll hurt your elbow. Ruin it by playing instead of in key. Take it out. But come back. So if you're that came out okay. And there we go. So crank it up a little. Oh, sorry, goats. Appreciate you. Crank me or the Muzak. Had to be on a separate area. And man, I think I need to get 3 monitors. This whole 2-monitor thing is just too little. So crank the guitar, I'm assuming. It's just an assumption. Let's see here. I could always let you guys crank it up. That'd be fine. But anyway, what I was getting at, though, is to just like put on a backing track. Don't pick up the pick like I did, and to try to kind of work on things that you otherwise would be ignoring, like with the finger picking thing. So we'll do the A minor 7 blues, which is a little more. Oh, I can see how now. There we go. Going to allow us a little diatonicism. Luckily for us, we can actually do Yngwie-esque classical crap. But if I wasn't playing with a pick, I'd be concentrating on doing other things. Been from wrong notes. Classical about it. Do weird stuff. Enjoy it. That's the whole point. Dude, yeah, work on tapping. And now's a perfect time. You don't have to move around a lot. That's the well. I mean, you move around a little, but the elbow movement is kind of minimal. And don't forget, your tennis elbow doesn't just stop here. Tennis elbow extends all the way up through your shoulders as well. So you might have some tension or some stuff kind of wrapped around that. And all you're really doing, you have some inflamed tissues, and it's hitting a nerve and causing you trouble. So make sure, the stretches aren't just, with your hands. Make sure they're up here as well. Those kind of things. Stretch out 30 seconds at a time plus. I would do a minute each. Don't go too hard. You don't want to hurt yourself. Also, friction massages in this area. That's across the muscle grain. Instead of going with it, it's across it. That'll help kind of take down scar tissue as well. And no, I'm not a physiologist. I just watch a lot of television. But work on arpeggiated shapes as well. Try to get your fingers used to doing that kind of weird crap. Which is definitely... Hey, Marky coming back. That's a good bubba. Come here, baby. Come here, sweetheart. Look at this plushy cat. He's so squishy. I wish you guys could all touch him. He's just a big fluff. So, big fluffy kitty boy. Oh, you smell my breakfast. The Prime Plus Wagyu bites. Wagyu bites. Shaped meat. That's about it. Of course Kitty wants that. Of all the cats that I have, this is the one that begs the most. But he's a good boy about it. He doesn't ever really say a word. Sometimes he opens his mouth like he's going to, meow, but he doesn't actually meow. He has many nicknames. Very good boyo is one. He's the only one I call that. He's a very good boyo. He really likes ham, so when I'm eating ham, I cut up a bunch of ham and I give it to him. I call him hammies. And what's another one? Him's just a little guy. But his name is Marcus. And I couldn't imagine life without him. I hope he doesn't kill my screen here. He may have. Holy crap. No, I'm still there. That's good. Oh, Lord, no. Gary figured out he could jump up here. Everybody, we're all in trouble. Hold on. You gotta meet Gary anyway, so I might as well introduce you. Come here, Gary. Oh, Lord. Hey, Gary. Come here, boy. Ow. That's a kitty. This is Gary. He is a foster cat. He is a special needs foster cat. It's not like he wears a helmet or anything like that, or he's a different type of special needs. He's got digestional issues. So, dude, okay, well, let's work on some tapping together. I think that'd be great. Although, we've unleashed a new level of hell now that Gary is allowed in the room. Like I said, he's a cable chewer, so I got to watch him like a hawk. Or I can just get him out of here, which is the smart idea. Hey, Gary. There you go. Anyway, yes, I have to say Gary's a great cat except for the cable thing. He's the most cat-like cat there is. If you have cat treats or even cat food and you throw them at the wall, he will run against the wall. You throw it across the floor and he runs and catches it and kills it and eats it. It's a great thing to watch. He is an affectionate cat. He's a cute cat. But he is a little terror. But he's still very young. The thing is, the special needs is just digestive issues. So we have daily medication to give him while we're watching him. And he is up for adoption. So, yeah. Okay, so let's work on some tapping. Let's do some easy tapping, and then we'll go to slightly advanced. And then we'll try to do stuff that I can't do. Sounds like fun? Great, let's do this. So, this would be tapping with your forefinger. I have my hand kind of resting here, like you're grabbing the neck, but you kind of let go, you get loose about it, and then just hammer on that. You can do the same in either direction. Some people hammer down and pull off down, that is. Hammer on, pull off, hammer on, pull off. This pull off is more of like a classical pick. See a lot of similarity in techniques, really, for that. This would be more like the classical lute, or old like Renaissance guitar type of stuff where your thumb was actually behind your forefinger. You'll notice Michael Ackerfeld does a lot of picking like this when he does Michael Ackerfeld of Opeth when he does his classical stuff. The thumb is behind the forefingers, whereas the Spanish decided that it's going to be like so. Thumb is out front. So I play like this a lot because of training. I started playing like this because it's natural. Most people do, but that's not a problem. So let's do a thing called target notes. Do a simple phrase, whatever you want to do, and pick a note on top that you can hit that will complement that. So, sure, you can pick the obvious octave. And that's just, tapping on from nowhere. Maybe slide the note. Maybe hit the right one in the first place. Oh, that's kind of dark. That's terrible. So target the note that you want to hit and hit the note. Turn it Lydian if you want to. Whatever you want. Just hit the target note. Make it kind of sporadic. If you don't hit the right one, you're one note away from a good one. So bend. See how that works? You could do pentatonic shapes if you want to get a little more advanced. Maybe hitting the right ones would be even better. Which would be... I'm literally not going up a pentatonic. Pentatonic minor. Unrelated pentatonic minor. That's keeping it easy. You could also do it 2 fingers. Easier to play it faster, but... I need to work on it too. But work on more than just the ideas that you already know, like the... Everybody knows that. Work on more than just the obvious. Anytime, man, no problem. If it's good for you. So, but yeah, I would suggest working on things that are more than just what you already understand and what you already know. Kind of walk on a trail, see another trail going off that you've never been on, and you just kind of wander off and see what's out there. So this whole thing with the this, you can do this. Just do 2 here. 2 here, 2 here. One each instead. And it would help if I had a mute back here. Something like this. Resting here. Or a kitty. I could use a kitty as a mute. That would be great. Hi there, boyo. My Marky boy. But you can do the same thing, of course, descending. You do 2 fingers. Pinky says no all the time. But that's a nice kitty. He's such a good cat. You want snuggle time or something, buddy? Just fall asleep on my lap for a half an hour or something like that? I can appreciate that. He's just a snuggly little man. Oh, and he's clean kitty too. So. But yeah, reach for the uncommon stuffs. While you're tapping, think about the chord shape. Start tapping harmonics. Which would be easier to do if I just did open, but it would be harder to do. So this is better. I can see that this is going to be a tough stream. Little fella, this is you don't. Him's just a little guy. You gotta write a song about Marcus. Look at the camera, dude. Would you look at that face? How can you not love that face? Just a little guy. Look, I think I probably have streamed. Yeah, dude, I love my cats, man. I really do. I got 3 personally, and they all vie for their own attention at their own way, in their own way. But you know, Marcus is one of my most. I'm very fond of him. He's not the most healthy cat in the world. I mean, he seems to be. He's just soft and plushy and everything like that. But he also has some digestive problems, and from birth. So, but you know, we take care of him. He's a very sweet cat. And this is now his new favorite toy. It's just a little piece of foam rubber that I was going to use underneath a set of pickups. Oh, news of the interesting. I may or may not be making a trade for the EVH today. That's why we have a box sitting on top of it. That box contains a set of EMGs. Sorry, Stu, you never bought them, so I'm trading them, and a couple of my pedals. None of which are coming off the board, of course, but other ones that I have used in the past and I actually still like. I've no reason to not like them. They are very, very good. Plus, probably some more pickups. Why am I trading so much for what? Well, if it works out well, you'll see on Monday, should you tune in. If not, you'll know because I'm still playing this guitar. Don't forget to use more than 2 fingers or 1 finger. You have more than that, you can use 4 if you wanted to. You know, go weird. Work on slides. Don't forget to shake it with the left hand, not the right. The right is locked in, or your tap hand is locked in. Your left hand does all the vibrato for you. There's something. Isn't that pretty? Unison. Octave away. Problem is, of course, the larger the string, the louder it's going to be. And the louder it's going to be, the more it'll overshadow other things that you're doing. So you may want to back the volume down a little bit. You may want to tap coils. You know, you may want a string damper. I do not have a string damper. Maybe I'll make a string damper. That might be a good idea. But the do chord shapes. Try to keep it consistent. If you're doing that, do this. that point, you're used to always going in one direction. Now you're doing it in the opposite direction. Mozart. Now, technically, try this also. And it's really kind of easy, but it gets kind of tricky when you speed it up because it feels slippery. That's all you're doing. 12th fret, any string really. Then after you do this, you're going to do this. You can do it on the same fret if you wanted. It sounds faster than it is. There's kind of a nice jumpiness about it. It's very cool. Doing it in different keys. That's an excellent way of exploring modes, actually. Keeping one note here as kind of a drone, and then change the notes inside of here. So, so D major, for instance. Very cool. You're locking in the tonality of the root. Let's do, I don't know, Locrian. Interesting. Let's do Dorian. Excuse me. When you do this, just to end it on a nice rhythmic thing. Yeah, well, at any rate, the guy hasn't got back to me yet. Last time we talked was about 11 o'clock last night, and we pretty much had a deal set, but he still had some questions, and I'm like, well, I still have some questions for you, all this. But if all goes well, I will be somewhat reunited with something that I used to have, but didn't. I'll explain that if I actually get it. If I don't, it falls through, I'll still explain it, but I'll still also be playing this. It's good. It'd be nice. Ow! I don't know what to do. Christian Munzner's tapping. Focal dystonia. He's not the only one. Had to adapt his playing. So there's a guy named Terry Sirik, who is very, very, very skilled, who also has focal dystonia. And you know what? I think a lot of high-skilled guys, gals, whatever, I think real high-skilled ones, and high-skill, high-profile ones, get it as well. There's Victor Wooten has focal dystonia. He had to adapt as well. Apparently, there's a lot of exercises that are very, very good for doing, for helping with that, and a lot of it is mental. But a lot of it is mental learned in the same way that if you were to be playing along with a metronome, that you'll develop the same mental block about exceeding the speed of the certain metronome just because you're not relaxing or something like that. But it's the same kind of an effect in your brain that says, you can't do this anymore, and prevents you from doing certain things. But Terry's, and Wooten, So the Wooten one was a surprise to me. In fact, the first time I ever heard the term focal dystonia was when I was trying to look up anything from Terry Sirik. And he has focal dystonia, great. But then I heard, and Victor Wooten. I'm like, and what? So, I went out and I took a look, and Victor Wooten's got focal dystonia. He was having a problem after fully developing his technique. Years and years later, he started to have a problem hammering on with these fingers. So when this one came down, this one would come down as well, or this one would come down and that one would come down as well. But most likely on his G string, because he's a bass player, he would miss. He'd never miss. He's like the dart player from American Werewolf in London. You made me miss. I never missed that board before. It's and it messed him up. He's getting better. So Terry had to relearn, of course, how to play as well. So what's this guy's name? I want to look him up. So that is Christian Musner. Let's look him up because I've not heard that name before. But I'm going to assume that he's a hot to trot guy with lots and lots and lots of talent. Holy crap. Didn't realize he was in Obscura. I've been listening to him for years. Okay. And since this is past tense, when was he in Obscura? Oh, he was in Obscura from like the very beginning. Oh, and Necrophage Epitaph. No shit. Dang, man. Okay, so again, you got a lot of high profile cats here with focal dystonia. It's amazing. That means to me, if the high profile cats have got it, that it's much more common, and a lot of people have to work their ways through it. That's really something. Wow. Yeah, very neat. He did a Beyond the Wall of Sleep. Man, I thought about doing Beyond the Wall of Sleep. That is a H.P. Lovecraft novelette, by the way. If you're not familiar with it, it's interesting, to say the least. But Omnivium, I'm aware of that. Cosmogenesis is my favorite album from them, so great. But after a time, it's a funny thing. I think it was around 2003 when I stopped delving into like the ins and outs of who's in what band. I don't know why I stopped doing that, but I think that maybe it was just a common lack of interest or something like that. Maybe it was because I had a 3-year-old daughter and I kind of quit the music scene and started playing like classical guitar, which obviously I stopped doing. But I mean, really, that's it was a passion that kind of escaped me at that point. But interesting shit. He's really a good guitar player. They did a cover of I want to say Speed Metal Symphony, or Concerto. That's what it was. That whole. That's been a long time. From Cacophony, and they did a really good job, but they played it slower than the original. They shouldn't have done that. But everybody has their limitations, and Marty and Jason didn't really have much in the way of limitations. And also, you're trying to copy the styles of people who established them, so it would be very difficult to do. And I understand this on a deep personal level. So on the tapping thing, you're going to work on your legato too. So for the legato, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about specifically. and that's trying to make your scale shapes kind of flow as if it's like falling down a waterfall. Everything's just kind of flowing like water. Uh, Satriani's fabled rolling ball of mercury in your hand. And that's so. Let's see. When I started playing again after 20 years, something. Telltale Heart and Nile that inspired you. Nile, no shit. Yeah, okay. So you're familiar with George Callias and all them wonderful cats. Good. And have you heard Carl Sanders' Egyptian stuff? And I'm talking about his Egyptian stuff, absent Nile. The stuff where he's playing like ancient Egyptian instruments and creating like, God, soundscapes with them. It's really remarkable stuff. Really, really cool stuff. So if you're not familiar with it, look it up. It's great. But as far as like the legato thing, let's go to legato. I'm gonna just kind of coast down some D minor here. Good. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. So no matter what, yeah. Sorry and something. I don't remember it either, but it could be Dream as far as I know. But yeah. He's got 2 of those albums out. So with the legato, I can really speak to legato. Legato's my kind of home plate. I know legato like that. It's just something that I want you to concentrate on is to make the notes. A lot of people concentrate on doing rhythmic things with it. I'm not saying don't do that. Do that, but there's a kind of a time and a place for many things. And one of the things that's hard to do with legato is to play each note very evenly across, especially if you're not doing like the pure Alan Holdsworth hammer technique with no pull-offs, right? That's weird to do if you're not used to it. I finally gave that up, not because I wasn't getting good at it, but because it was actually affecting my ability to do other things. So I preferred my pull-offs instead of lift-off hammer. It's weirder to do that for me. So if you're going to pick very lightly and try to make each note sound even to each other, and also try to make each note flow into each other without interruption. So it doesn't matter if you're playing 7 notes, 5 notes, 3 notes, 4 notes, whatever on a string, or on a set of strings, or if the pattern has 6 notes, don't try to make it sound like it's distinctly 6. You're wanting to make each thing literally... there's no accents. It's flowing into each other. And if I picked it... That kind of thing. Just one big, long, scary thing. And it's not really that scary. It's just going across different shapes and, knowing where they connect. But this kind of thing can also help you figure out where things connect. So, shape-wise. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Hour and a half seems like a fine time instead of the 3 hours I did last weekend, which I think was a little on the long side. But time to get the day started. Let's go. Let's move. Let's practice some guitar. Let's maybe make a trade. Get some new gear. Get rid of some old gear that is no longer useful to you. So it's a good time. Everybody, be well out there. Take care. I will, if you choose to show up, I'll see you all on Monday. And Yeah, everybody have a good weekend, and thanks for showing up. It's a nice hang. Uh, yeah, absolutely. Maybe I might possibly, who knows, actually play better on Monday, assuming I'm healed up. Or it's back to the 3 note, and it'll feel weird again. But have a good day, everybody. Happy Saturday, or Catterday if you're me.